Heather.
And we're from Liberal, Kansas, and we get asked a lot about going to Disney and taking a trip to Disney. We've been several times, and a lot of our friends are just planning their first trips, and they've asked us a lot of questions. And so we thought it might be easier just to put it online and share it with anyone who's kind of thinking about that first trip to the Magic Kingdom. And we've always enjoyed our trips. We've taken our children with us and have had a really great time. But we've learned a lot of things in planning our trips, and some of the things have really helped make our trips better by planning them a little ahead and being prepared for the trip. So we're going to try to share some of those with you here today on this video. Some of the first things is some people think that Disney is really just for little kids, that if you only have young kids is the only time that you're going to really enjoy Disney. And that isn't true. We've never found that to be true. We've had a teenage son that we've taken to Disney, and he really enjoys the trip and he looks forward to wanting to go back to Disney. And we've also had young girls who we've taken to Disney too, and of course they enjoy it. But even we enjoy it as adults. We have a lot of fun at Disney, a lot of plans for us when we go, and some of the things we enjoy doing. So don't get caught up into that Disney is only fun if you only have little kids, because Disney is truly a place for all age groups.
Definitely. I mean, our son wanted to go for his graduation present, and at that time, our daughters were really little, and but it worked out really well. They adjusted well and enjoyed the parks just as much as he did. Um, I'd like to share first. When you plan, don't be afraid to use the travel agent. They don't cost any more and shouldn't cost any more to use them versus booking it online. I kind of like using the agent because she or he can look at things and kind of play around with the dates, play around especially with your flight, so they can give you the cheapest rate that way. Um, Also, too, once he or she gives you your reservation number, make sure you write that down and have that ready to go. Uh, when we flew in, the best thing to use is Magical Express. They get your luggage for you, put it right in your room. You don't have to worry about that. One thing that was new this last time, which I wish we had taken advantage of, was the online check-in. It definitely makes the check-in process faster. They already have your room keys and everything printed out for you, so you wouldn't have to stand in line or stand there and wait and get everything. It'd be all ready for you when you got there. Um, Disney dining plan, definitely suggest it. It's a great way to save some money, and also it allows you to go ahead and book your dinners in advance. The one we take advantage of is the one where you get one snack, one quick meal, and one sit down. So as soon as our travel agent gives us our reservation number, I'm booking our sit down dinners in advance, anywhere from, I think now they allow you up to 8 months in advance to book your sit down meals. Don't be afraid to use two at one spot. It's well worth it. We've had each time we've gone, we've decided to use two of them, and then that leaves us one of our quick serves to use on the last day. Um, where to stay?
Well, when you think about planning on your overnight accommodations, you definitely want to stay on property at Disney. It's such an advantage. One, you have access to the busing system, and we'll go over some of these things later. But you have to plan for your family on what kind of experience you want. You can go into a family type, almost apartment type stay at Disney, or you can stay in what's more like a traditional motel room. You just have to plan your budget on which one you want to do. If you have 5 family members, you're going to have to go to the family
Sweet.
suite, and it is great because you have a private room for mom and dad. The kids kind of have their own space. Plus, you have a couple of different showers to use, so it really helps when you're getting everybody ready to get to the parks. Another thing to remember is Disney is not just the Magic Kingdom. It's not just Cinderella's castle. That's just one piece of 4 parks, and we're only going to talk about the 4 parks. They also have some water parks if you go in the summertime, but we typically travel during the holidays, and so when we go, we're going to the 4 major parks, and that's the Magic Kingdom, the Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. There's us other places we go involving Disney. We go to downtown Disney, which is totally separate. They also have the little wharf area that has the ESPN
Boardwalk.
Sports Zone. Yeah, the boardwalk. So don't think of Disney as just being at the Magic Kingdom. And another thing, when you're doing your plans, make sure you plan enough days because it takes at least a day at every park to really enjoy it. I know maybe you went with a band or you went with a choir, teenager or something, and you spent 1 or 2 days and you just rushed through it and it was kind of a blur. We don't recommend that. We recommend taking your time, planning some of the events, but not planning everything. And when Heather was talking about planning the meals, we plan where we're going to be eating our evening meals, but through the day, we'll pick a place and we'll pick some place for the snack. It's kind of gives us some flexibility. But we wanted to really put in those dining plans because one of the underrated things about Disney is the eating. I mean, there are some great places to eat at Disney,
Definitely.
whether it's seafood, whether it's Chinese or Asian, or the best steak in Florida, one of the best steaks I've ever had, and it's at Disney. So there are some great dining options, and we're going to talk about dining options in a later video. But just before you plan that trip, before you're when you're just thinking about is Disney the right place for us to go, just get all the facts first. And Disney has some great websites. You can go to DisneyWorld.com. They also have some great apps for your phone to download. You can find out how long the waits are in different lines, and learn a lot about the rides and the attractions, the what shows are showing. You can get all that stuff down ahead of time. Disney is not just about rides or just about the characters. There are great shows, entertainment. There's just a wide assortment of things to do. And we, of course, we have our favorites that we love to do, and your family will develop your favorites as well.
Definitely want to take, I know we talk about dining a little more than you probably would have liked us to. But when you plan, there are some advantages of booking your dinner and the show at the same time. It gets you preferred seating to some things like Fantasmic. If you go at Christmas time, it gets you preferred seating to, they usually have the reading of the Christmas story with big choir and bands playing. So that can get you preferred seating. But they only have specific restaurants within those parks that will get you that preferred seating. So see our dining video for that. Also, don't be afraid of the cost. A lot of people are afraid, well, it costs too much money. But understand if you book enough ahead of time, you can set your costs off a little bit more. If you fly in, they want your flight cost plus a $200 room deposit, and then you have till about a month and a half before your trip to pay it off. So if you book it a year in advance, that gives you almost 11 months to pay it off.
Take care of your meals and take care of your park hopper passes, take care of your motel stay, your flight. So then it's just spending money and you in the park and your family, and you don't have to worry about all of those separate things if you go ahead and budget it. And Disney will work with you on that. They'll help you with planning your trip and helping you make reservations. It's really they really streamline the process and make it, there's a reason why they call it the happiest place on earth, and they really help make it as easy as possible for us to plan, prepare, and really enjoy our time in the park. And they'll make the same thing for you too. But just plan it a little bit ahead of time. And that's kind of what we wanted to introduce everyone to today. Get your pre-plans. We definitely suggest a dining plan. We definitely suggest staying on Disney property. Uh, Make sure you're planning at least a day per park minimum, and you're going to probably want a few more days than that just to go back and see some of your favorites once you've been to the park. And you want to take advantage of the Magical Express if you fly in. And we recommend flying in. There's no need to rent a car if you're going to be doing all Disney. You do not need to rent a car. They will take you everywhere that you want to go at the parks.
And even if you are going off park and you're going to go over to Universal or you're going to go to SeaWorld or Discovery Cove, they will provide transportation at your request. It is at your cost, of course. but those options are there, so you don't have to rent the car. We did that before and felt like it was a waste of money. The other thing I suggest is going online and looking up the Photo Pass. Look into that. I know it seems like a lot of money, but it's something we wish we'd done this time. We had done just the attractions plus, where you get your digital photos of everything on your attractions. But this would give you every single photo that they take. You would actually get the digital copy of it for $200, and I think it's great. It would be a great asset. Otherwise, it's $14.95 per picture that you download off of anything other than the Attraction Plus that we got.
And we'll review some of those things when we go over specific parks, specific attractions. We're gonna have videos on each of the different parks to talk about some of our favorites, some things we'd recommend for families, some snacks, some of our favorite snacks, and just some of the things that we believe will just make your trip something that you're going to remember and have lifelong memories with your kids. This is just kind of get your feet wet and get you started to think about Disney and some of the things to plan for. I'm Earl,
I'm Heather.
and we'll see you on our next video, and we'll be talking about once you get to Disney, what next?